With over 500,000 trees and shrubs already planted and growing, it's easy to forget you are in the city. We don't just say, we do. It's the Stain City way.
Good afternoon to you and a happy Africa Day. My name is Anele and welcome to Real Talk right here on SABC3. So keeping a relationship together is tough, even more so when you're in the public eye. My guests today know this all too well, having lived out a lot of their ups and downs right in front of our eyes, which is one of the reasons they're considered one of South Africa's favorite power couples. Kicking off our chat is the man who has over for the past 20 years become one of South Africa's most recognizable voices behind the microphone. His love for music has seen him produce no less than 6 albums, and together with his contagious love, he brings you the best tea in the city. Please welcome Thabo and Mokwele.
Yeah.
Okay. This must be so awkward for you because you always interviewing people.
Listen, to be sitting on the other side is like, what?
What do I do? Eh?
What do I do? Because you've bought the cards, I don't have them, and I'm like,
I wonder. Eh?
I wonder, because I think you have a card up your sleeve somewhere.
Me?
You are Anele. But it's so good to be here. Thank you.
I'm so glad you can come here.
No, thank you for inviting me. Yes, and well done. I mean, who thought?
It was so funny. You and I were chatting downstairs, and you said, you know, me when I used to do breakfast at Metro, by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was sleeping.
No, 4 o'clock I'm out. And I think the most vivid memory of that is the 9/11.
Yes.
Because at the time I used to have a TV in my room. And 4 o'clock, like I said, time to sleep because I'm up at 2:30, 3.
Yeah.
And now I'm watching CNN just so that I know what's going on. And I'm like, since when is CNN playing movies?
Yeah.
Because this is the time when the planes were hitting the towers.
Like, CNN, what trailer
and then I was like, why is Bruce Willis Die Hard on CNN? Little did I know, come 3 in the morning, every newspaper is talking about 9/11 attacks.
Sure.
And I'm thinking, is this what I was watching?
Oh, wow.
But because of the time of day and how early you start a day as a breakfast show host, little do people know that you are actually on a different time zone altogether.
True.
Because you start, like you said, you start your morning at 3, and by when it's lunchtime for people, it's actually dinner.
This is true. Somebody was saying to me, oh, did you watch Karabo's mom on Checkpoint? I was like, what time is Checkpoint? They're like, 9:30. I'm like, oh, what, guys?
No.
Me, I'm sleeping by that time.
I'm still surprised that you're still awake and this fresh at this time.
I have a clone.
Okay.
But I mean, 20 years in the game.
Yeah.
You know, just over 20 years. Besides money, you know, yes, we get remunerated, but you have to find your thing that keeps you in it. What is that?
The first thing first was that radio was that connectivity or that social network platform. That
was the first social network?
That's the first social network because it made you wish to hear what other people were going through wherever they may be. I mean, the radio host could ask a question, what did you have for breakfast? And that was enough to get everybody calling in and sharing their, bread and peanut butter story.
Yeah.
You know? But for me, it was like, I'm a chemical engineer by training, right? But I was like, there's no way I'm going to be a technician. But I know my love for music and my love to connect with people, it has to find a way. And thank God for radio.
Wait, I'm stuck on chemical engineer. So Vela, when you can make beer?
And other things.
Okay.
As long as there's a chemical that one must act with the other to make things happen. Listen.
So Vela, you're making your wife's skin products because her skin is not like our skin. Tina, we struggle. That one's skin. And I've asked her this before with skin, and she was just like,
You must choose them well.
Anele.
Okay, all right.
All right. So what made you not go the path then of chemical engineering?
No, honestly speaking, I must say that I found it to be mundane. And the very month I went for auditions on YFM is the very month I got an offer to be a technician at that particular chemical company. I declined it. And then
did you decline it before you went to the auditions?
Yeah, no. I went for the auditions, and YFM put an offer on the table, and at the same time, I had this offer from the chemical company. The chemical company was 4 times what YFM was offering.
Oh.
Imagine going to your parent, Mama, I'm not going to the chemical plant. I'm going to the radio station, and that's what I did. And she was shocked. She was like, "Okay." You go for it.
What, did she immediately say go for it, or did she have to be convinced?
She had to be convinced.
All right. Now,
My dad said go for it.
Okay, because men are a lot riskier than women.
Yeah.
I
So
figure.
my dad says, listen, I've invested. I've given you, in fact, this is how he put it. He said, I have given you the wealth that no one can take away from you.
Which is
meaning
education. Yeah.
So I think you're man enough now to fend for yourself. So good luck. Go ahead. And he gave me a handshake and a hug. Done. Mom was like, are you sure of what you're doing? And you know, as moms will be.
Yo, marangwana kubatla ba DJ.
And it's like, radio, Thabo, radio. I was like, yep. How do you even make money? How do you even make money? You know what I mean? So I had to even teach her about how we make money, because I was doing a weekend show, but Monday to Friday I was on the direct sales team.
Oh, wow.
To supplement the income.
Okay.
So I had to learn about the workings of radio, even the business side of radio, during that. So sometimes I will even go at home, because I was already a pensioner.
Yeah.
I'll go at home midday, find her there, and she'll be like, what are you doing here? You're not at work.
Are you fired?
I am at work, relax, and this is what I'm doing. So a lot of teaching, and later on she started realizing and seeing the passion and how happy I was, and she also started reaping the benefits of a grocery nje out of mid-month.
And also, when the Manhattans come to town, who's got tickets?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Done.
But something in your personality, ne?
Yeah.
Had to have been apparent to both your parents whilst you were growing up that made them feel comfortable with the fact that you wanted to be on radio.
When I was in standard 7, which is what, grade 9, I was part of a dance group. Music was in the center of everything I did. We had a space gram.
Also.
Right? And for you to play the LPs, you need to open it up, and so that you can play the LPs. Luckily, we had electricity, so plugged in and all of that. But here's the challenge. The very space gram was the TV stand.
Okay, so you had to move the TV off and put it on the floor.
At the time, I'm skinny bones. I can't even pick up this thing. So every time we fought about, okay, I need my own radio. I need my own system. I want to listen to the music. And every time I'll get into trouble with them because I'll go out and borrow.
And parents hate it when you borrow things. Yeah.
And then you bring it home and you're making all this noise. And soon, I think they realized that there's something about music and this boy. One of the vivid memories I have, Michael Jackson and Diana Ross had a concert. Back in the day, where I can't even remember what it was, but they started singing the Richard and Touch song. Richard and touch somebody's hand,
make it a better day.
They started crying together. I was in it.
What do you mean you were? You were crying as well? Because Michael Jackson was always crying.
Listen, I was in there, and my mom, I remember she stood there looking down on me and going, "Thabo, you're gonna basically make yourself sick through this music, you know." But I think she got it because she was a music collector. Actually, my mom had collected more LPs than my dad.
Oh wow!
So she knew where this love for music came from.
You just reminded me of something. That song, wasn't that Felicia Mabuza's theme song?
Oh, well, Felicia could have taken anything and made it her theme song, but I get it. African Dream was also her theme song. Remember? Yeah, but it was her theme song.
Oh my word!
But it was such a powerful song.
It was indeed.
Yeah. But actually, it's an Ashford and Simpson song. But other people obviously.
Everyone also sang it. Speaking of powerful, I understand your grandmother is also got a lot to do with who you are.
No, most definitely. I sometimes quiz my wife and I'm like, she set the benchmark, darling.
Oh.
Yes, because she will wake me up 4 a.m. before she goes to work so that I can have breakfast in bed.
So.
Because my same is in my kitchen. 4 a.m, wake up my boy, Trey, eat. She didn't trust anyone with me. She didn't trust that they will feed me the way she does.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I knew of matriarch or maternal warmth and love came through this woman. Sebina Musia.
But you know what I like? Because you said she used to work in the kitchens, right? Because there's always that notion that a lot of us, our mothers grew up and our grandmothers grew up being helpers, you know?
Yes, yeah.
And there's always like a certain bitterness. It's like, you know, she spent her entire life raising somebody else's kids and not me. But so what I like about what you're saying about your grandmother is that she made sure that she fed her children before she had to go feed somebody else's children.
Exactly.
And I think it's very telling, and that's why you're such a warm person.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's your grandmother. Listen, how awesome is this chat? It is about to get better. Real Talk with Anele is back after the break. And welcome back to Real Talk with me, Anele Mdoda, on Africa Day. So a little later in the show, we'll be joined by his missus, the outspoken, lovely, intelligent, beautiful Mapaseka Mokwele, to talk relationships amongst many other things that they're up to. But before that, I'm spending a little more time with her hubby, Thabo Mokwele. My mom's best friend spent 6 years in Paris, ne?
Yeah.
And we're like, don't you miss home? She's like, Anna, I'm streaming no tipos. She's like, writing, but now she's back and she's like, oh, my data is fine. Yes. Now I'm here and I can get in properly. So she's watching and she's tickled right now.
No, hello.
She's watching and she's tickled. And Nolita, this is for you. So why did you only spend 1 year at YFM?
Because Romeo Khumalo saw the talent and said, come hither.
Romeo.
And remember at the time, we are new blood and we are entering a movement called YFM. Yeah. And at the time, we're trying to prove that, you know what, the big stations have let go of great talent because we've been sending demos because I was on campus radio for 3 years.
Is this at TUT? At TUT. Yes.
And I was also, myself, Greg Maloka.
And Ashifa Shaba.
Yeah. And even AK. AK was also part of that team. We actually turned that campus radio station into a community radio station.
Oh, wow.
It's still standing to this day.
And it's still churning out talent?
Yes, it's still churning out talent. And it's one of those things that we always wanted, obviously, to play in the professional league. The commercial league was the place to be. So going to YFM for auditions and being picked out of 300 plus people. Wow. And we were only 22, 25 actually, that made it, and it was cut down to 15. And I was part of that. With Bofresh, I mean the Fejo, I mean the
heyday,
the cream, the cream.
Rude Boy Paul, Bad Boy T.
Listen,
what are you Lee Kasumba, what do you mean?
Listen, I mean this is the cream. And even then you still need that validation that you are on the right track, because remember, it's a risk I took. Somebody, can the universe, can God, can somebody just validate that I'm on the right track? And that one particular day came and Romeo Khumalo was on the other side. And this is Romeo Khumalo, you know how you mentioned it. This is Romeo Khumalo.
The romantic repertoire.
This T-Boss, I said, yes, we need to speak. I was like, okay. And then obviously, the rest is history.
So you go to Metro. Now, what I know about the old school radio talents, and this is why you're still in radio, is that you guys crit yourselves a lot and you listen to your air checks.
Yes.
And you are broadcasters. You're not radio DJs.
Yeah.
You're broadcasters.
Yeah.
So if you had to listen to yourself back then and listen to yourself now,
I will die. There I said it. I will die.
What was wrong?
I cringe to this very day.
Really?
Because one of the trainings, I think they trained us like the MI6 or the CIA. You must never be happy with your work. Because should you be happy, immediately you get into a comfort zone. And so many others, so many of us. To this day, then, even when we meet, we critique each other.
Yeah.
I was listening to you, and I think that link could have done it better.
Oh, wow.
Because that was the camaraderie at YFM.
And you know it's never coming from a bad place.
No, it's not coming from because it's good constructive criticism is coming from a great place. Whether you are a bad broadcaster in my book, but your feedback is because you are a listener.
You're a listener.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to this very day, even when my listeners tell me, I like this, I didn't like that. And now with social media, actually.
It's instant.
It's instant. So I'm immediately. And most of them, they even get surprised that I don't take offense.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't like that song, or I don't like what you said. And I'm like, okay, I apologize, but this is the context. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so that engagement, because for me, listener is king. You know, and that was the training. And to this very day, it is still the hallmark of what radio is about.
What's better about radio today? Because you know what it is. When we get to a place where we are, you know, the stalwarts and the legends, you're like, it's not the same anymore, man. Back in my day, no. I want someone who's been in it as long as you, who's still in it, to say, right now, this part of what we do is a lot better than it was 20 years ago.
If there's one medium that is forever relevant, it's radio. Every other media around it tries to be relevant.
True.
Radio is instant, it's relevant. Now, what has radio, in fact, what my worry is, radio today is trying to be digital, when digital is trying to be radio. Where you are listening, not actively, but passively, yet attentive. And that's what radio, it gives you that power. And I think that's the part I think I'm a bit worried about, you know, programmers now. They're trying so much
to be digital.
And
it's almost forcing it.
Yes. Yeah. So you might end up just messing up the very formula of why radio exists to this very day. And radio is that friend, it is that companion, regardless of where you are.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier on, and I like how you put it, is the original social network.
Yeah.
And should we miss that and try to be a social network?
Oh, there you go. Ping.
What we need to do, and which is some of the radio stations are doing very well, even radio personalities, they're using those platforms
to extend,
to feed into.
Yes.
So basically pull in.
Yeah.
Don't forget, this still is the primary.
This is the flagship store.
Yes.
This is the head office.
Come back to the roots. And that's where it starts. And now it starts feeding other things, which is, I think that's, radio will forever be relevant as long as we just maintain the formula.
But one thing that's been, excuse me, tried, tested, failed, flopped, until you did it, is the radio show that's a TV show.
The fly on the wall.
Now I want to know.
Yeah.
How did you do that? Because you know, Mark Gilman tried it didn't work.
Thank you.
Gareth Cliff tried it didn't work.
Even DJ
Smooth tried it.
Yeah.
I know MTV had tried it with the Fanta Pine chart countdown with Nicole Fox.
Yes.
It's been tried.
Yeah.
And you know, even sometimes they're your friends and you just watch, you're like, this is not the one.
See, here's the problem. Radio, like I said, is not active. TV is active.
Yeah.
For you to enjoy TV, you must sit actively and watch it. This is Anele, right? On radio, when I have Anele on the show, you wish to see Anele.
Yes. Yes.
So let me beam that hour and take it on TV. The other parts are not necessarily for TV. It's the theater of the mind. But the minute I have a guest, the way we, the rapport, the way we laugh, and maybe even if there's a tear, you wish you could see all of that.
Because I used to listen to it and then go watch it.
Thank you.
And then I'm just like, what are you doing? You know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And you know it was also nominated for a SAFTA, right?
Yes.
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 Yes, yeah.
And whose brainchild was that?
The brainchild was between Don't Look Down Records,
production
company, and of course, Greg Maloka, our MD. They came and said, T, what do you think? We think this thing is translatable. I was like, what do you mean? It is translatable. And then Don't Look Down was like, okay, can we start? I was like, this Friday. And then that's all we did. 2 cameras, one facing me, one facing the guest, and the music must be translated into videos. Done. Let's do this.
And actually, that was the first time radio was done digitally, properly in South Africa, because he's that guy. Listen, a reminder is that tomorrow is the last time that you can win. You remember that 5,000 Rand e-gift card that we give away every Friday? Yep, you want to enter, hit our social media pages to find out how. We'll be back after this with the missus. And if you just joined us, we've been chatting it up with radio personality and entrepreneur Thabo Mokwele. Now, I am willing to put money on the fact that if you ask Thabo, who his best friend, confidant, and the person he shares his secrets with is, he would say, it's my beautiful wife, Mapaseka. She joins us now. Hello, Pasi.
Hello, darling.
You know, he said on his show that he doesn't like it when other people call you Pasi.
He did say. He tells me all the time.
It's my name for her.
He gets all jealous.
So what must we do now? What must we call her?
What's her name?
Mapaseka.
Thank you.
Mapaseka, I told you.
No, but Mapaseka.
There we go.
No, but you taught me, because I used to say Mapaseka, and you said, no, it's
No,
Mapaseka.
you always said Mapaseka.
Really?
Yeah, she's Xhosa. We'll
No,
forgive her.
no, don't forgive me. I must say your name right. Ki Africa Day.
Damn
Oh,
it.
yes.
I mean,
Damn it.
Oh, do you know why? Because also you taught me how to say your guy's surname properly. Because I was like
Yeah.
Mokwele, and
And
you're
I
like,
said
oh, what?
Mokwele.
Don't mess with my cows. Also, wait,
Hello.
Yes, please.
Kimukwili.
Yeah.
So
and part of that intro, the only part you forgot to mention is that if you ask me who's my biggest fan in the world, is this girl here.
oh, do you listen to all of his shows?
Of course I do.
Every day, without
I
fail,
do.
unless of course she's outside the country, and then she will call and say, "What happened? How did it go?"
Do you do stuff on air that only you two know that you are now talking to her?
Yes, and then I text, and I'm like, hi.
Really?
Hell,
But you
and
must
then he's
subtweet
like,
on air.
Yeah, you know?
So y'all are sending each other filthy messages during the people.
During
And
the
we don't
people.
know nothing about it.
Yes.
That's what makes it fun. And he goes on air laughing, and nobody knows why he's laughing.
And guys that laugh of his
You know what I mean?
And you're like,
I'm like, I'm watching
When
you.
I listen now on, I'm gonna know, right? How easy is it though to be with somebody who's doing the very same thing that you're doing?
I'm not with somebody who does the same thing that I do. He's my colleague at work. At home, he's just my husband.
Okay. So
We
it's-
separate the two so well.
how though?
And I think the time difference also makes it quite easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we also had fun when I also had her on my show. She sometimes, invites me on hers.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets a little bit,
Then we get a bit confused and we're like, who's this, who's that? But,
Who's that? Yeah.
But under normal circumstances, T-Boss works at KFM. Thabo is married to Mapaseka.
Okay.
Different people.
I think that's how we managed to balance that.
Yeah.
So wait, because KFM, y'all are always going away. I don't know what kind of travel budget you guys have.
Listen.
Listen, every time I look, you're on Victoria Falls, then you're on Kilimanjaro, then you're in Paris.
Come
I'm
join
just like,
us.
Come join us.
I'm
Just
like,
come join
what's
us.
going on here?
Thank you.
You guys must be running out of passport space.
Lots of fun.
So when that happens and they book rooms,
Do you know it's the funniest thing?
Yeah.
Because we always say, if you're booking us together and we're traveling together, don't brief him and expect him to brief me. Brief us separately. We
Yes.
have different contracts at work. And then the last trip, he pulled a stunt on them. He says to them, guys, but I need my own room. And they were like, but. And after a while, we're like, no, don't worry.
we're just joking.
Just teasing. But yeah, when they book us
And
there,
I said,
then
okay.
it's one room free.
Yeah, take the package, the room rate, and instead of doubling it,
Yeah.
make it 1.5 and get a better room.
Okay, presidential.
Because listen, you're getting
How?
benefits here.
All
You
right,
see?
you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So radio is where you guys work together, but I understand that because you kind of told us the last time you were here. You're a repeat offender, by the way. Hey,
Yes. There
Hey,
we go.
Oh yes, I remember that show. I watched it.
of course you
Yeah.
watched it. 'cause
You,
this
you guys felt like you needed more time.
I
course we
know.
did.
It was like I wanted. Do you know what I
was a
wanted?
girl
I
chat.
watched it as well, and then I was like, next time it's just me and you. We must get pajamas and we must do it in bed,
I love that.
right? And ice
You're
cream.
not invited.
Okay.
Yep.
Your
no.
mind went somewhere.
But remember,
That's why I kind of had to restrain it.
Papa, come
pull
back
it.
to me.
like God sometimes just lends man like.
That's why I was like, don't even. Don't even.
You guys met around radio, right?
Yeah.
I know, at work.
Edward.
Tell
Metro-
us. You
Metro-
tell us. She's told us. You tell us.
Not Metro.
And tell
he-
the truth. Tell the truth. Not your version, the truth. Go for it.
You see when they say the wife is the neck.
Yeah. You can be the head, but where is the head turning without the neck?
Thanks.
No. I mean, here is this girl passing by. She's working at Newsbreak. And what a stunner she is.
Oh, man.
But my first time seeing her, we were at the now Nelson Mandela Square. And I'm sitting there with my radio mentor, Bendi Gobi, because I just joined Metro.
Yeah.
And I see her, she's walking in with her friend, Basitsana Kumal. And I'm like, the first thing, by the way, that caught my eye was her legs.
And yeah, no.
I was like, who is that? And I say it loud, and Ben, pinches me. It's like, come on, you can't say, because I'm like that,
Yeah.
open. So he's like, okay, that's Mapaseka Mokwele. I'm like, the Mapaseka Mokwele, as in Miss what, at the time you just you just emceed, I think, Miss Soweto.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah,
With
and
Carvela.
yes, you were in with the news, and she was wearing, she was on the newspaper. She was wearing a dress, a J-Lo like dress.
Very revealing.
Very
all the way
revealing.
down.
Yeah.
Sexy number, baby.
Oh, swear.
Yeah. And I was like, and she was on the phone. And I was like, okay, can this conversation finish? We ended up leaving. She was still on the phone.
Next
I
to
wasn't
us.
going to them.
Yeah, no, she was not coming to us,
Oh,
obviously. But
okay.
you know, obviously, I wanted to grab her attention and stuff.
Yeah.
And I get to work, and I'm told she's aloof and all of that. You know how it will get. And now, as we're sitting as boys, obviously, boys start saying, but you know, that's Mapaseka. Whoever gets Mapaseka is the king. And I'm like, quiet. Ben already knew
That you were.
you know, and Ben immediately announced it and said, guys, there's only one guy who's going to get Mapaseka here. It's this guy. So you guys must just forget it. They were like, whatever. 6 months into dating, they didn't know
That you guys were dating.
Oh,
That
no,
we
we
were
didn't date for 6 months.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh, when we got married, yes, you're right.
Yes, because before we got married, we needed to announce to our colleagues
Okay.
that, guys, by the way,
This is
we, yeah.
Lopasi, C1.
Yes.
Same
yes.
WhatsApp group.
Same WhatsApp group. So that's when they knew.
They found out.
And
2 weeks
then
before.
they confirmed, oh, Ben. I said, Ben, I said, I told
I
you.
told you guys.
I told you, yeah.
So now, but when you finally get to approach her, what's the reception? Because I mean, obviously you saw at the restaurant, she was on the phone, and rightfully so.
No. I mean, I had to bring out the Petty stroke Tembisa boy in me.
Okay.
She was standing with a radio colleague, and I think the radio colleague guy was trying to chat her and trying to date her, and I just walked right in between them.
He was like so
Rude.
No, I went Tembisa style, so I
He
went
went-
right in the middle. This guy was here, so
And you
I
went straight
came
in.
here. I sandwiched.
And you know
I
what he said to me? Your number, please.
And she was like, okay. I was like, that's my girl right there. I'm like, dude, cheers, bye.
So when he leaves, what does dude say to you?
Manje.
Like, I'm getting a free number.
I'm like, dude, you're still going to ask for it. It's 30.
Yeah.
And then you guys get married.
Yeah.
And then you are that couple. You guys, do you consider yourselves a power couple? Do you? Because you know it's a thing that people say, and you just
Yeah,
like.
I don't get it.
People wake up, the power couple, baby.
No, I don't get it. I don't get it. We, like I said, we are ordinary Thabo and Mapaseka. Obviously, we are in the public domain purely because of what we do. But you should see our space, and even our friends will tell you, we are the most...
The most private people ever.
Not even just private,
we
just
do
the
our
normal,
thing. Just
simple
normal, very
guys. I mean, if we are not working, we are at home.
Chilling.
Yeah.
In onesies.
Yeah.
In onesies.
Yeah.
Does he have a onesie?
Yeah.
Yes, I do have a size.
Yes.
This is what I was thinking. I'm like, where's this place that sells giant onesies? More with Thabo and Mapaseka after the break.
You should have had the judgment we had from my mother-in-law.
She's like,
It's like, onesies?
No, guys.
No, we took it further. We used our onesies. We were going to New
Oh,
York.
no, we're going to New York, yeah.
you wore onesies on a plane.
Yes.
My mother almost killed us.
No, she wanted to
Shame.
murder us.
But don't worry, Ma, we've changed.
I'm going to a break because I need to digest this. Listen, a heads up for you. Next week, we're going to be joined by media personality and businesswoman Kanye Mbao. If you'd like to ask her one question, what would it be? Luckily for you, I know someone who works at Real Talk with Anele, and they're going to give you an opportunity to voice note ask your question. 072 445 5835 to ask Kanye Mbao anything you'd like to know from her, and we'll get her to answer those questions live. That number once again, 072 445 5835. We'll be right back while I try to decipher why people are wearing onesies on planes. And welcome back to Real Talk on SABC3. The stage is yours. Today, we have been granted VIP access into the lives of Thabo and Mapaseka Mokwele. We've been hearing about the ups, the downs, and everything they've gone through. And obviously, this is why we consider them to be one of our favorite couples in the industry. Yesterday, on your show, you were talking femicide, right?
Not yesterday, the day before. We're talking men are trash on Tuesday.
Yes, men are trash.
Hashtag men are trash, yeah.
Okay.
We were actually just asking about that hashtag itself. How
Yeah.
do men relate to it? Are they getting the point? Are they offended by it? What does it mean?
What's your stance?
My stance is I think we are focusing on the wrong thing. I'm glad that the label is stirring emotions, the hashtag itself. Because it's not the hashtag that we should be focusing on, it's the emotion that brought the hashtag. I think that's where the key issue is. And for those who will then perpetuate and keep on, using the men are trash label, even in situations that are out of context, then they are also missing the point. The point here is, as men, I'll give a simple example. And this is the example I stand by. I'm 43. My peers are also within that age group.
Yes.
The minute we're sitting like this or at a club or anywhere we go, or even at the Shisanyama, the minute, and I have a 20-year-old daughter, the minute one of my friends come with a 20-year-old sitting on the same table as a handbag and sort of conquest trying to celebrate it around me, I am trash until I call him out.
True.
That's the essence of what it's trying to say. To say, we will always have that hashtag hanging over our heads until such time that we call out the very same man that we live with trashy. So
in the, just in the space where we are right now as a country. So I know guys have WhatsApp groups where they're together and you guys are chatting and you guys are sharing whatever you're sharing with each other. Are you guys discussing it there, this whole thing? Just
Of
like,
course.
my gents, what's going on?
Of course, because one of the things that really came out, especially even with boys just talking, is what kind of man raises his hand? Let's just start there. I mean, one of the best things that we know, and I think it was St. James or St. Peter who said, you're not a man until you have conquered yourself.
Conquered yourself.
Conquered yourself, meaning know yourself.
Control yourself.
Control yourself.
You.
I know between the two of us, if there's one person who knows how to communicate her emotions, it's her. I have to learn to communicate my emotions. But my frustration doesn't necessarily mean, therefore, I must act it out. Rather walk away. And her seeing me walk away, because she can also read the action, later on, because I'm a little bit calmer, I'll be able to say, I didn't like 1, 2, 3. Much calmer. Rather walk away. Because then you're going to act out the emotion, and at the time, you are drunk from the emotion. What happens when you sober up?
And there's things that were said and done that you can never take back.
Thank you very much. And in words you'll never take back. And they hurt.
All right, so we have a WhatsApp line, and the viewers have been sending in some stuff. Let's hear the first one, please. Also.
Hello, my name is Max from Carltonville. I just wanted to comment on the matter. This is a very serious matter. Our sisters are living in fear. They traumatized. They don't know where to live anymore. I think death sentence should be brought back.
What do you feel about that, Mapaseka?
I agree. And it's sad. I find it so sad that we've gotten to a point where we've had to agree with that. But I think he's spot on in a sense that, we need to be able to deter a person who does that in such a way that they know. It's not enough to say, you'll go to jail. Yeah, well, I'll go and come back. I mean, I've heard of men saying to somebody, I will kill you and go to jail for you. I'll be out soon. Do you understand? It's gotten that bad when somebody thinks jail is not a bad thing. So that is not a deterrent anymore. So we need to find a deterrent because it's bad. Yeah. It is bad. I was saying the other day that Bali is a 20-year-old. Bali sent an SMS to me with her IMEI number.
Yeah, after the police minister said we must try and do that.
Yeah. She sent that to me, and she's at varsity. She's doing a third year at UCT. And she sent me this, and she says, Ma, I just thought you should have this. It's not safe where I am. I am on campus, but things are bad. I was so saddened by that message because I said to T, this is supposed to be the best time of her life.
Yes.
The freedom.
Yes.
The
friends. Best time of her life. Yeah. And guess what? At that time,
she's living in fear.
She's living in fear. So, as a woman, I knock off at 8 o'clock in the evening. What happens? I drive home. As I'm standing at the robot in my car, minding my own business, the minute I see somebody walking towards me, I'm scared. Yeah. I panic.
Yeah. Your default setting is warfare.
It's warfare.
It's gotten so bad now that even getting inside an Uber, you look at the guy.
Boots.
I look at the driver, look at the picture, look at him again, check his number plate. Please, can I see your boot? By the time you get in there, you're already like, and once, if he says there's traffic here, can we go that way?
No,
like,
you can't.
No.
Why are you changing routes?
Yeah.
Because you're panicked. I don't want to live like that.
You're living in fear. You're not free.
This is it. I wouldn't want my kids to live like that.
And we can never smile, guys. We can never sleep at night until the next person is free.
You know, my dad always says, I'm only as happy as my unhappiest child. And he's got four girls.
4 girls?
4 girls, guys.
Okay,
I mean, it's the same mentality with the chain, you know, sort of usage that we say, you know, you're the strongest, the weakest link.
Yeah.
It's true. It is true. And now one of the biggest problems is that the village is gone. The village is no longer raising the child.
You're on your own.
The
That
walls.
is such a true statement.
The walls are separating us from our people.
You're on your own.
You don't even know who your neighbor is.
Now, your child is in trouble and the neighbor hears something. They look out the window.
And they're like-
They don't think of calling the cops. They don't think of helping.
It's not their problem.
Because what if I help? Am I going to be manza? Am I going to be shot because I was helping someone?
Yes.
Do you understand? So
Yeah.
if I help, am I going to die for it? If I say anything, am I going to be called impi of sorts? We've gone back to that. We've gone back to that.
I
It's
know.
bad.
For me, and it's so funny because when it comes to like the death sentence, when Jessica Mutawong was in South Africa, they asked about the death sentence, and back then she was like, you know what, we need to reconsider it because there are heinous crimes that are happening. And this was in 1993,
Yes.
1994, guys.
Yeah.
Think about it. And I was like, no, because the wrong people get killed, and it's always going to be black men getting killed. No. And now I'm just like, how, okay, guys, it's the same men who are killing us now. What must
This
happen?
is it.
Exactly.
This is it.
Yeah.
And I mean, how many women have we seen being killed? You know, and somebody said to me, no, you guys are performing just because social media has gone wild now. And I'm like, but hold on, one death is one too many. One is one too many.
Listen, as a society, you have failed if you are unable to provide and provide and protect the vulnerable. You have failed as a society. So forget you and I, forget our privileges, forget everything else. But look at it in totality, because the minute you start living only for yourself, the society or the community, the fabric collapses. But the minute you start looking at it in total, because the very son you are raising is going where? Into the very same society.
Yes.
So the lack of balance, the lack of seeing things for what they are, and being honest and truthful about it, is the very fact that that's why we're going to, kill the social fabric. Hence, I'm saying that the minute we make her feel weak, the minute we make her feel fearful, the very society, and remember, we're talking about the incubator of knowledge, the woman, the first university any child attends. What is she going to teach? Fear.
Fear, survival,
Really?
rejection.
Really?
Okay.
Look out at the
Anger?
robots.
Okay.
Anger. Ah, woman.
We've got one more WhatsApp message. We'll do that after the break. When we come back as well, I want to talk about these seminars that these two do. Apparently, there was one in Feb. There's another one coming up this weekend. Ribato, we need to attend. We'll talk about that after the break. All right, so we've only got a few minutes left, so we need to hustle here. Thabo and Mapaseka Mokwele in the hot seat. We're going to talk about their new venture, which involves couple seminars called You For Me. Right now, why you for... Hey, why you for me?
There we go.
You guys are silly. Okay, before we get jovial, let's be serious one last time. Can we get the last WhatsApp voice note?
Molo sis Anele, igama lami ndinguSandisiwe Mlanjeni ndihlala edolophini ebizwa uOndendale Straits Free State. So my question is that what can you do if you're a disadvantaged girl? What can you do to like protect yourself if you can't afford things like pepper spray? And would you guys be able to start an organization, a non-profit organization for girls who are still in school, can't afford such things like pepper sprays and all? So thank you.
That's
You
sad.
see now.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be concentrating on whether you're going to do higher grade maths or standard
Thank
grade
you.
maths.
But you remember, there was a problem when women had to stay at home because they were on their period.
Yes.
So it started there,
Yeah.
where
Now-
the girl child would miss out on school days because she's on her period.
Yeah.
Now she misses out on school days because of her period.
Or fear.
And because of fear. So sad that.
So what about the pepper spray thing? Like, is it something we advocate? Yes, because what must happen?
Yes, definitely. But
Anything,
I'm not sure
I think more than anything, it's a societal issue, and we need to find a cohesive solution. Because to give a pepper spray without teaching the boy, you're also still staying with the same problem. Because the boy needs to be the sister's keeper, she needs to be the brother's keeper.
Okay.
So we need to
So-
raise them And I say raise them because it needs to start from there.
Yeah.
We need to raise them to understand that, one, that violence is wrong, but two, to protect themselves and those around them. So you're raising a child who, you're turning it around, you're making it different. So you're getting a child who comes, when your kids fight, say you've got a pigeon pair and they're fighting, and you get your little boy, your little girl coming crying, Mommy, but he's fighting with me. You go and say, but Nana, you need to protect. But similarly, you do the same with the girl. So they need to know that they actually are equal and loving each other on the same level. So you're not teaching one the other. Now I think what we've been doing wrong is we've been saying to the girl child, remember, you can be independent. You can stand on your own. You don't need a man.
We haven't been building the boy child on the same regard that it's okay that if you are not the breadwinner, the powerful one, the strong one.
So what we've said to the boy child is you must be the man. But you're telling the girl, you must stand on your own. These people get married and they don't know how to
This
have
is where
a
I'm going now. These seminars, why are you for me?
Why are you for me?
What are you guys, because I mean, like I said, when it comes to couples that we look up to, because you guys have been through it all, you guys were married, you guys split up, you guys got back together, and you're making it work, and also you owned your problems. You weren't like, no, it's a private matter, can you please leave us alone? Do you know what I'm saying? You were like, no, this is what goes down. I missed him, he missed me. This is the bottom line.
Sure.
What are we teaching? What are you guys teaching us at the why you for me? Sorry.
Let's start there. I mean, why you for me? Even the name already tells you that we are saying let's take it back to basics. Because teenage love affairs are all lokshin and so on. I mean, that's what it's the Oshelwa, Uchekiwe and all of that. Because what I like is the basics made it very easy, looked very easy.
Yes.
We are not teaching. And that's the misconception, or maybe the misunderstanding of what we do.
You're sharing.
We are radio hosts, right? So what is the one thing that we do well?
Facilitate.
Thank you. So now, we've been getting requests for couple seminars. And we've been running away from them because we don't want to be standing there on some, no, we are experts.
We are the example of how it should look.
And we're not the example of how it should look. And I don't think we ever aim to be the example. We live each day, we wake up every day, and we relationship every day.
Yes.
So when you wake up in the morning, you are again start relationshiping, if that's a word. And you do it on a daily, every day. So what we basically are saying is, let's take you back there. Let's facilitate that discussion that you actually cannot have together at home because it's sensitive.
Because of baggages, because of other issues around it. For instance, we ask tough questions.
The last one. Yeah.
Like?
Why did you choose her?
And I was like, because I love her, but that's not enough.
Yeah, and?
Yeah, and?
Love and?
Yeah.
What else is there? So there's something, when we started the seminar the last time, he got up and said to them, okay, think of the one thing that makes you so angry that your partner's done. And everybody sat down and started thinking. And then he said, okay, swap seats, go tell somebody else. And they got to tell somebody, and they're like, he does this, she does this. And then he said, okay, go back, tell your partner, you've had practice now. Now you've practiced how you should be talking about it. Now tell the person that actually matters.
Yeah.
Because the person that needs to hear it is your partner. I can't be coming and saying, Anele, but he did this, and he walks and I'm like, hello, he'll never know that I'm not happy. So basically, practice it and then do it.
So how often do the seminars happen?
Every 3 months.
Every 3 months. And you still Gauteng based for now, but you are planning on taking it around the country?
Yes, definitely planning on taking it around the country. We're even planning on having a trip, going overseas with some couples.
Yeah, because we must end it with a party.
No, I mean, this is who we are.
Exactly.
All right, I'm being told I have 30 seconds left. This is why I'm going to give it to you, because she's been here. You can have it. Why did you choose her?
Best friend. Beautiful, loving. She's exactly my opposite.
You're not loving? Really?
No. I mean in terms of characteristics and personality and all. So she's exactly my yang to the yin.
Okay.
And the very fact that sometimes she upsets me, but I'm able to come back to her and say, okay, even apologize, even when I'm not wrong. That's a sign. You know what I mean? That's a sign right there, because that's exactly what you need. You need your opposite. Somebody who challenges you, somebody who has your best interest at heart, and vice versa.
And on that note,
Saturday, 11 o'clock.
Saturday, 11 o'clock.
Bookings at bashumi.co.za.
Bashumi.
Yeah, bookings at bashumi.co.za.
Few places left.
Few places left. Saturday, 11 o'clock, bashumi.co.za. This is where you're going to get to sit and be facilitated by this lovely couple. You can also follow them on social media. We've been screening their social media pages. They ask them all the questions you want to ask them there about Saturday. But what a pleasure it was to sit down with you guys. We will do this again tomorrow at 5 o'clock for the last time this week. Bye-bye.